Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Abrams, and this is Court Camp.
Take him back! Take him out!
I hope you die in prison as well.
First, we go to the Berea Municipal Court in Berea, Ohio. The sentencing hearing of 42-year-old Stephanie Rybkowski.
Mr. Rybkowski, am I saying that correctly?
Rybkowski was caught stealing from a local Walmart, which resulted in a theft conviction. Today, she and her attorney are hoping Judge Mark Comstock doesn't issue any jail time.
First of all, $150 fine plus cost of the suspended, and then 180 days in jail. I'll credit 1 day served. However, I started that today.
6 months in jail starting today is not the outcome Rybkowski was looking for. So she quickly appeals to the judge.
Is there a way that I can not start jail today? I mean, because I've got a daughter who's got a graduation party going on.
I understand that. I understand that. We're going to stick with the recommendation at this point. So I can have a seat.
Can I go?
Absolutely, you can be leaving.
Disappointed, Rybkowski goes to take her seat. Until she changes her mind and heads for the door. Bailiff Matthew Bedford takes notice and immediately tails her. He catches up to her in the hallway, where they have a discussion. Rybkowski bides her time by taking a seat. She then checks her phone while the bailiff waits her out and stands guard at the staircase. Acting casual, she wanders over to the bailiff while on the phone, and then slips behind him. Until she makes a break for it. She quickly makes her way down 2 flights of stairs and out the front doors, with the bailiff right behind her. Eventually, she gets to her car and knocks the bailiff over with the vehicle before speeding away. Luckily, he suffers only minor injuries. But finding her wasn't easy. She's hit with additional charges of escape, assault, and resisting arrest, but no additional jail time is added to her original sentence.
Miss Hunter, please come to the podium. Case numbers.
Next, we go to the Genesee County Courthouse in Flint, Michigan,
State your name on the record, please.
where it appears to be a quiet day. On the docket is Wanda Hunter, who's in court for allegedly driving with a suspended license.
It has a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. Do you understand that, Judge?
Yes, ma'am.
As Judge Tracy Colliernicks explains the defendant's rights, she seems more concerned with the summer heat than any problems brewing inside her courtroom. Things are calm until a few people begin speaking out.
I'm going to need people to be quiet in the courtroom. If you need to talk, you're going to have to go outside the room. All right, I'm sorry, ma'am. You have the right to a trial by a judge or a jury.
Then, all hell breaks loose.
Do you understand that?
The man attacked is Juanel Darrow, who's been charged with the murder of Alex Pace Jr. The man who punched Darrow is Alex Pace Sr., the victim's father. Pace Jr. was shot 12 times, and when Darrow smiled in the direction of the victim's father, it set him off. The brawl turns a quiet courtroom into a free-for-all. One terrified attorney escapes the scene crawling on all fours. The judge, not amused by the spectacle. Darrow He's escorted out of the courtroom. Pace, meanwhile, has to be restrained by authorities. You can hear the sound of Pace being tased as he's removed from the court. He's charged with disturbing the peace, but serves no jail time. Darrow, on the other hand, is convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to a minimum of 10 years in prison.
Sir, I'm holding you in contempt for what you did. And so... Alright. He's high risk, so I'm gonna raise the bond to $5,000.
We're at Bond Court in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, I think 1,000 is reasonable given that these are felony charges. Good luck, sir.
That's all great, Liz.
Stop talking. I'm gonna give you a public defender.
Michael
All
Ray,
right.
cases 87 and 88.
Next up is Michael Ray, who's facing charges, including criminal trespassing and second-degree assault. A bond or a bail hearing is usually a quick proceeding, if the defendant is cooperative. The prosecutor suggests a bail amount for Ray based on the crime and the defendant's history.
Now that the county's requesting $25,000 full cash behind all charges.
You think that's funny?
We weren't done.
Ray might feel $25,000 is too high, but sarcasm will get him a reduction, and the judge lets him know it.
Alright, so bond is $50,000. No bail credit,
I get
dangerous
a chance.
unity. Thinks these are funny charges. He's lucky I didn't hold him in contempt.
Ray just had his bond doubled. But as he re-enters the hallway, he has something else to say.
Bring him in. I'm hold him in
here.
contempt. Add charges.
Language isn't the only thing to upset the judge. According to court officials, the defendant also gave her the middle finger.
30 days to serve on contempt for flipping me off twice.
Judge calls him back. It looks like he's gone.
If we bring him back in, he's just gonna get another 30 days for doing something else.
So they move on to the next case.
Case number 90, Scott Raymer.
When, sure enough, Ray comes back for more.
Oh, here he comes. Sir, I'm holding you in contempt for what you did.
What's the order again?
And so,
You stop playing.
alright, you can take him back. 100 days to serve.
100 days to serve? Okay.
Yeah.
You got 2 EPOs and criminal mission case?
That's right, the judge just gave him 100 days in jail.
He's done.
Ray could just walk away without making matters even worse, but he goes a different route.
Y'all, I think we need to...
Yeah.
Can we bring him back?
He's gotta be charged. Yes.
What started out as 4 serious charges has grown into a grand total of 10, all in the span of approximately 3 minutes.
Yeah. No, I figure that's just a lesson on what not to do, so you all are good.
We now head over to Scioto County Common Police Court in Portsmouth, Ohio, for a tense cross-examination of a mother on trial for the grisly murder of her own child.
Tell the jury how you killed this baby. It was with all these injuries.
That's Jessica Groves. She and her husband Daniel have both been charged with 11 counts in the death of their 2-year-old son Dylan. Jessica gave birth to Dylan in January of 2019. When Daniel found the baby unresponsive, he would later testify he didn't alert authorities because his wife threatened to blame him. So instead, they wrapped the infant's body with plastic bags. They then dropped the body in a 30-foot well not far from their home.
Jessica, did you, and you only, cause the death of your son, Dylan Groves?
Yes.
Did Daniel Groves participate in the killing of Dylan?
No.
Did you hide all injuries that you caused Dylan from your husband?
Yes.
The Groves had both initially pled not guilty, but in an unexpected twist, Jessica has just copped to being solely responsible for killing the child. Prosecutors claim they're both responsible for the boy's death. The defense now insists Daniel was just guilty of helping hide the body. If this is Jessica's story, prosecutor Julie Hutchinson demands details.
How did you murder this baby? How did you cause these injuries? Ma'am? How did you cause that? You have devoured my family. How did you cause that injury? I'm done talking to you.
We're back in Portsmouth, Ohio, where Jessica Groves has just admitted to murdering her 2-month-old son herself and claiming her husband Daniel wasn't involved in the killing. But prosecuting attorney Julie Hutchinson goes on the attack, pressing Groves over details on how exactly she did this on her own.
How did you murder this baby? How did you cause these injuries? I have sit here and admitted. How did you cause those rib fractures? By dropping him. By dropping him. How did you cause that first teenage skull fracture? I don't remember. Nothing that I ever did was intentional. I'm not asking your excuse. How did you cause that complete arm fracture? Tell the jury. I have to live with this for the rest of my life. How did you cause that? You have devoured my family, my guilt. How did you? And I have to live without my children. I'm done talking to you. You are talking to me because you're sitting on the witness stand. Tell them how you caused that injury. Judge, I'm asking you to instruct me to answer the question. I don't remember. I done told you that. Ma'am, tell the jury how you would not remember that. Because my mind wasn't clear. Why? Because of drugs.
Groves is unable to recall the details of how the child was murdered. But when Groves is cross-examined by her husband's attorney, Christine Scott, she sticks to her story and seemingly protects her husband.
Ms. Groves, do you recall whether or not Daniel Groves participated in the actions that caused Dylan's death?
No, he did not.
You and you alone were the one that caused the death of the baby Dylan.
Yes, I was.
Jessica Groves is convicted of all 11 charges and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Her emotional testimony helps her husband get acquitted of aggravated murder, but he's found guilty of the remaining 10 charges and sentenced to 47 years to life. Our next stop is Lebanon, Tennessee, for one of the strangest days in the history of the Wilson County Courthouse. The view through the courthouse security camera seems pretty typical. The judge, lawyers, defendants, everyone conducting standard court business. Until a deputy approaches a man slumped over at the end of the second row. He's unresponsive and can't be revived. Apparently, he's overdosed right there in the gallery. As court proceedings continue, unaware of the situation, a nurse seen here in blue is called in to check on the man. She acts fast and administers a dose of Narcan. And seconds later, the man is revived. Officers help him to his feet and he's escorted out of the courtroom, where he refuses further medical treatment and leaves. The near-fatal overdose was shocking enough, but not nearly as bizarre as what happened that very same day, just a few hours earlier. This is the arraignment of 20-year-old Spencer Allen Boston. At a traffic stop 2 months earlier, Boston received citations for speeding and simple possession of marijuana. As he walks up to the podium, Judge Haywood Barry's informed that Boston has a special request.
I spoke to Mr. Boston that day, to which he responded, I just want to plead my case to the court. So he didn't want to talk to me after that, so that's why she started talking, so.
We the people deserve better, because marijuana is a very harmless drug.
There's somebody. Hey! We the people deserve better. Spencer Boston.
down, Mr. Barnes.
We're back in the Wilson County Courthouse. This is the arraignment for 20-year-old Spencer Allen Boston. Boston received citations for speeding and simple possession of marijuana.
I spoke to Mr. Boston. He said he wants to represent himself in this case. I told him today was just an arraignment. It's either guilty, not guilty by day. To which he responded, I just want to plead my case to the court. So he didn't want to talk to me after that. So that's why she was
Start talking, son.
Yes, sir. I think it's very unfair, the marijuana law here. I think we the people deserve better because marijuana is a very harmless drug and it's been around for ages, since the 80s and 90s.
I've heard that baloney all my life, so don't go any further on that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether it's good or bad. All I know is Tennessee still has it against the law. I swear to uphold the laws, and I have to uphold the laws as a judge. It probably is unfair, but I can't change it. You've got to go see the legislature to get that changed.
Yes, sir.
And you get it changed.
Judge Barry quickly returns to the matter at hand.
Now, if you want to plead guilty, you can today. But if you want a trial, we can give you a trial on the officer's date, which is Officer Benson.
Officer Benson?
You want to put his trial date?
Yeah, we can do that.
That'd be fine, then you make another schedule.
As the judge works with court employees to schedule a trial date,
May 7th.
Boston decides to take action. As he pulls out what appears to be a joint. No one seems to notice until, shockingly, he lights up. And this time it's noticed immediately.
Hey, we the people deserve better.
Boston may have finally pleaded his case.
Hey, we the people deserve better.
But he's immediately taken away by the court officer. And Judge Barry gets the final word,
Take it to jail.
slapping Boston with a disorderly conduct charge, as well as another charge of possession. The judge also holds him in contempt of court, and Boston is forced to spend 10 days in jail. The joint was collected as evidence. Joining us now is Spencer Allen Boston. So clearly you wanted to make a statement about the law, but looking...
People say, oh, you could protest and, talk to the House of Reps or, talk to the legislative and, whatever else. But in a way, they're not listening to us. So the only way to really grab attention is by doing something stupid. I mean, not necessarily stupid, but kind of, like a peaceful protest is how I looked at it. It was civil disobedience, kind of like Rosa Parks, how, they said, go to the back of the bus, and she said, nah, I haven't. Nobody got hurt, no harm, no foul, and it gained attention.
When you came to court, did you know you were going to light up a joint?
I had the idea set on my mind. I was leaning toward more of a yes, but it wasn't a guarantee. And the judge, he actually cut me off when I was pleading my case, and I found that very disrespectful. Marijuana is a very harmless drug, and it's been around for ages, since the 80s and 90s.
I've heard that baloney all my life, so don't go any further on that.
So you lit up the joint to punish the judge?
Not necessarily to punish the judge, but he, in a way, stepped on my toes on, I've heard baloney all my life, and it's like, well, I mean, that's fair. You have you have heard it, but nobody's doing anything about it, so I'm going to do something about it.
You got a call, and I can't hear your name.
And it was in no disrespect toward the judge or the courts. It was just to make a statement.
So you knew, by doing this, that it meant I'm going to have to serve time?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
And it was worth it?
For the cause, yes, it was. I mean, I think it's nonsense that down here in the South, you can still go to jail for it compared to if you were to get caught with it in the Northeast or in the West. Well, you wouldn't get nothing. The cop would probably smoke with you, actually. Just whatever.
Spencer Allen Boston, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
That's all for this edition of Court Cam. I'm Dan Abrams. Thanks for watching.